Okay, so welcome to my newest map. Don't worry, more Star Citizen content and Persona content is on the way. I just completed earlier today a second Persona stream, which was closer to the 3 hour mark, which is what I normally try to hit. I'll be adding some more content tomorrow in that realm, but I did want to give Mirror's Edge Catalyst some love. So basically, this game is one of the best games I ever played. It's one of my favorite games, and it is just such a beauty to behold. Um, the mechanics, the way everything looks. Um, I played this game for hours and hours and hours on end. After after I got it, like once the game came out, I was one of the few people who really um, like played the crap out of this game, despite all of its shortcomings. And this game does have a lot of shortcomings, as you will see in these recordings. I'm playing on the PlayStation 4 Pro, but there's still, like optimization issues on Dice's end, which prevents the game from truly shining. And I think it's because of how they design the always on gameplay. Like there's no loading screens. Once you load the game and you're in the world, you're in the world. There are no loading screens anywhere. So I thought we'd do um, like a little city tour. You know, I was also thinking of doing something like that for Star Citizen as well. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead, play the game, and show off the City of Glass, which is a incredible city. Small part of me hopes that someone at EA sees it and is like, yeah, I forgot about Mirror's Edge. Let's make another one because I would really love a Mirror's Edge sequel. Um, but no, what's the saying? Without any further ado, let's begin. Yeah, that's the one. So, I'm playing on my most recent save, so this pretty much has like everything unlocked, which is good because it's going to make things a heck of a lot easier for me to showcase. Um, so Faith is fully kitted up, and I've got all of her moves unlocked. I also bought like the special edition, so you get tons of stuff. All of these came from just basic challenges and things like that. Like some things come from the speedrunner kit, which you can buy, but most of these come from just completing the game. So, customize the echo here. To be honest, I like this one. I like this one the most. But yeah, and you'll see what an echo is as I play more of the game. And then these are like all of the missions. I'll probably upload a playthrough, all offline though. I don't think I'm gonna stream it. I'll just play through the game again and I'll record it, and you can always refer back to that. But yeah, I'm still missing 3 secret bags, and I'm missing 2 more surveillance recordings. I just didn't really feel like following those, but yeah, I just really love how everything's designed, the aesthetic, and then of course here's your skill list, which some people complain about because a lot of these skills are like native to parkour. So they felt like you should have had these skills unlocked by default. But Faith, the main character, the woman here, she was locked up in prison for 2 years. So it kind of makes sense that some of this stuff you would have to like relearn or reacquire. Because in the first game, she was recovering from an injury, and so that's why she had to like practice and get back in the game. And then in this one, she gets out of prison, and as soon as she hits the ground running, she's like back into the game. But they were gonna plan on sending her to the Greyland facility anyway, so she didn't really have much of a choice. But I thought the story of the game was pretty compelling. As far as futuristic dystopias are concerned. I wouldn't describe this game as cyberpunk, even though there is a lot of like cyberpunk overtones. But this is just more of a futuristic sci-fi game. Like it's not a cyberpunk game. Some will disagree with me, but I feel that cyberpunk has a very specific type of flavor, and just because a game is futuristic and features like evil corporations does not make it cyberpunk. Cyberpunk has more to it. It has a certain commentary and it has a certain vibe, which this game also has its own political commentary, but it's less about the politics and more about the characters. And then these are like the different classes or the different types of enemies that you'll encounter in the game. But I'm not really going to focus much on this section because, it's combat. You're going to see that as I play the game. And then this is gear. All pretty basic stuff, nothing super fancy. Might be familiar with the format from games like, oh, I forgot about this skill. I'm glad I checked it. But yeah, useful non-lethal tools there. Alright, so we're basically in the Zephyr Transit Hub. So the Zephyr Transit Hub is the location of Faith's Cabal, and these cabals are basically runner gangs, and these gangs, they they live off the grid, because everyone in the world has what's called a link basically, and a beat link, and this beat link connects them to the digital infrastructure of the world. And I may show off in the when I do the playthrough, you will see kind of like the noise that the average citizen has to deal with. But yeah, I like the aesthetic of this map here. Now, all of these areas on the perimeter are not explorable. I had hoped that Dice would give us like some DLC so we could explore more of the city, but EA didn't greenlight another project. I also hope that they had you know gave us like DLC here, because like look at these super tall buildings. How cool would it be to scale these guys? You know what I mean? But these buildings here are pretty tall. These buildings here that you can scale are pretty tall. So, but yeah, as you can see, there are multiple neighborhoods. So we have the Shard way over here, which is like the seat of the government, and the government in this game is known as the Conglomerate. It's a co-op between 13 corporations, and they're all owned by families, and these 13 families rule the nation of Cascadia. So Cascadia is a nation, and then you have well, no, not Amistad. Amistad broke apart. You have like this religious nation bordering no, Amistad still exists, yeah. So it's Amistad, and then there's like this religious super state. So it has a very like 1984-esque kind of feel, because there's like three super states, and they're like constantly at odds with one another. But it's really Amistad and Cascadia that are at like big odds. So each if you look here in the upper left hand corner of the screen, you'll see like a little breakdown of the neighborhood and like the interesting things about it. So Zephyr Transit Hub, downtown runners, population 10. That basically is our outfit, so that's why that shows up. But as we go to other neighborhoods, like for example Crystal Valley, the population shoots up to 63,000, and it's in the Anchor district. So it goes district, and then neighborhoods. So in the Anchor District, you have Eden Village, Crystal Valley, and Shimmering Heights. And as you can see, mid-high caste live in Crystal Valley. This is the wealthier part of town. There's a shopping mall here that got blown up, but yeah, this is like the ritzy part of town. And then this is the View District, and the View District is comprised of Regatta Bay and Ocean Pier, and this is the super wealthy part of town. Like you have to be literally connected to one of the 13 families to even live out here because it's so expensive. And it's the only place in the city where you have access to water as well. So water is a status symbol in this game because it's scarce. And then of course the shard is for the actual ruling body, the super elite. So you will find them in the shard, and you will find them here in Regatta Bay or the View District. And so Eden Village, the Anchor District, Crystal Valley, Shimmering Heights, you will find some high caste people here. So as you can see, as it changes here on the map, there's a lot of the elite that rubs elbows with the mid caste, and the mid caste are like your middle management, your lower executives, those kinds of people, and yeah, they live it up here. And then we go across the way to the downtown district. And downtown district is comprised of four neighborhoods. So Concord Plaza, which is very small, Centurion Yards, Charter Hill, and Triumvirate Drive. Alright? And as you can see, the cast changes. So we have low and mid casts that live here. And you won't really see a place that's like exclusively low caste. And then there's the rezoning district, which is the last district that you can explore in the game, and the outcasts live here. And this is where the actual terrorist organization that is fighting against the government is located. But you know, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, and that's kind of like what you get into in the game because the government's definitely corrupt. But yeah, so I will talk more about the game as I'm playing it, but I just wanted to kind of give you a rundown of the City of Glass, and there's other cities in Cascadia that are a pretty big deal. But let's explore the layer first. I'm not gonna do like the entire city tour in one sitting. That would just be too time consuming because I don't want to like miss a lot of things. So yeah, basically we'll do Zephyr Transit Hub and Triumvirate Drive. We'll do those two. So let's start with exploring Zephyr. So Zephyr, as you can probably imagine, is a transportation hub. That's what that's what it says. So we basically have set up here, and you got to use a little parkour to get up here. But this is where we're hiding out. And this is the hideout. Now this place has already been raided once, and that's why it's a little emptier than when you first played the game, because a lot of the runners kind of got the hell out. Those that survived anyway. But yeah, just a locker room right here. Got your showers. Oh, you know, it's like, well, and this is the Black November message.
Black November is fighting to overthrow the conglomerate and to restore power to the people. Every day our ranks swell with fresh members desperate for change. We will not rest until our goal is achieved. You can be our friend or our enemy. Choose.
So yeah, they have a, they're not a very interesting organization, like looking at it from a credit standpoint, but you know, it's they're interesting. They have a reasonable cost to do everything that they're doing. And there's Icarus. Kind of gives you a hard time in the beginning of the game, but he warms up to you. And he, if I'm not mistaken, used to be high caste actually. He was actually a member of the elite, and he just left that life because he was just looking for something else. And so fell in love with parkour. He's really good at it, and he became an outcast. Simple as that. And you may wonder, like, oh, why, or how is it that, you know, you guys are still able to operate like this, literally right underneath the government's noses? Reason for that is because of, the 13 families need the runners because they're at war with each other. So basically, the entire country is run by market share. So you know how in the United States we have our electoral college. Basically, that's how this country works, except it's based purely off of market value. So like Florida will be worth so many electoral votes, and Texas will be worth so many electoral votes. But here, depending on what percentage of the market you have under your control, affects how much you know, power you have on the council. So the corporations fight against each other to get more market share. Not only does that give them more money, but it also, you know, gives them more votes. And the largest corporation is currently the Kruger Corporation, the one that's owned by the Kruger family. They're like OG elites. The founder of the nation was actually a Kruger, so that's where they get their claim to fame from. So I'm gonna set up a fast shower route because I'm actually heading the wrong direction. But yeah, they use the runner services to carry out their operations against each other, and that's why the runners haven't been completely stomped out yet. Now, in this city, KSEC did basically declare war against the runners, but you know, you'll see that in the play. But yeah, this path is actually going to take us to the Anchor District. So if you can see on the map, it just takes us all the way to Anchor, which we're not going to go right now. But yeah, as you can see, that's the rail system down there, ferrying people to and fro. So the entire game, you never touch the ground, like except one little spot in the city, and that's it. Aside from that, you never touch the ground. And the reason being is because, you know, KSEC will be on you and like nothing if you touch the ground. So it's easier to avoid the cops if you stay, you know, above ground, running along the rooftops, you know, and staying in the building. So that's something that helps them stay one step ahead. But you know, you're never too far from the ground. Alright, so we are now in Triumvirate Drive. So I'm gonna kill that nav link. Alright, so we have basically all of this to explore. So what is Triumvirate Drive? Well, it's basically like your standard downtown district. This is like the business district, so pretty much all of the buildings here are devoted to you know, the happenings of business. There's like R&D going on here and things like that, but manufacturing, yeah, nothing too major. Nothing too major. But it's got a nice aesthetic. And this is where like the bulk of people live, obviously, because you know, with any capitalist society. It's pyramidal. Most surfaces you can definitely climb on. Like if you see it, you can climb on it in most cases. Alright, you gotta be careful. You can you can break your legs. It's not difficult to do that. As you can imagine. Oh. Like that. Like that. You literally break your legs just like that. I thought it was a freaking pole that I could loop around. But they do look a little different. I'm not gonna edit that out. But yeah, these are useful things, or useful skills to learn because you can find like secret items, things like that, going off the beaten path. So if you see a path that looks like easy, you can take it, but there's always a better path, especially when you're like doing races and stuff. That's like a good rule of thumb. I thought I got this one. Alright, well, at least you got a demonstration of the control chip. Yeah, it's like probably 5 p.m. in Cascadia right now. The kind of missions that you do here aren't too plentiful. As far as the story is concerned, like the story will get you into Anchor pretty quick. But there are some notable missions that you'll do here. The game in and of itself is pretty short, especially if you just focus on the main missions. But yeah, she looks like a Black November member. They wear black. You don't really encounter other runner cabals though, and that's another missed opportunity for the game. They also like got rid of guns completely, which not every game needs to have shooting in it, you know. But I mean, if you're not gonna have shooting in a game, there's certain things that could be done better, you know. So let's take the zip wire. So Sylvine Systems is one of the big companies. Sylvine is basically responsible for the telecommunications of the game. of the city. Okay, I'm sorry. Of the city. So you basically will see a lot of them just about everywhere you go, especially in this part of town because this is like one of their major office complexes. Nice thing with the game too is a lot of the companies are color coded, so you can kind of just tell their advertising apart from you know, from the others. But yeah, you can see the shard over there in the distance, and it's got smoke billowing out of it because it got blowed up, but not enough for it to collapse, you know, just enough to inflict some casualties, which is why I want a sequel because this story isn't over. But the shard was probably the greatest of all the missions in this game, and this game has some pretty good missions. And this is one of our guys, and we wear black and red. Like the same thing with Faith, as you can see, black and red. I'm surprised I haven't run into any cops yet. I mean, hopefully I don't jinx it. If I let one of these cameras spot me, some will spawn.
Delivery opportunity assignment nearby.
And here's a delivery mission. Which I may do one, I don't know. Oh, I jinxed it. So, thing with these guys is they won't shoot you as long as you're by fellow officers. Oh, he got me. Alright, so I'm choosing to fight. I don't have to.
Delivery assignment nearby.
I may get lucky. If I can make it to a safe house, then I can easily get the heat off of me. Yeah, it's a hop and a skip. But yeah, you may already be noticing like textures popping in as we're running along. That was one of the weaknesses of the game. Because it's such a pretty game, you know, like, that's probably my biggest complaint about it as well. But yeah, that's rezoning down there. That's the pole I was looking for earlier. But I'm outside of their radius. So I'm just gonna hide.
Control here. Abort the search. She's gone.
Alright, it's a done deal. Alright, so this is a Kruger substation, and this was actually the building that you served your prison sentence in. So this giant skyscraper is a prison, and an R&D laboratory all in one. And so as you can see, she's very well dressed, and she would be one of the high casts that we're talking about. And they usually hang out on the buildings, and they will send you out on jobs. And that's how the runners make a living. So yeah, they kind of just sit here and wait. Now once you complete their mission, they don't disappear. They just kind of sit there and stare at you, so. I wonder. No, doesn't look like it can make the elevator do anything. Nowhere I could really go anyway. But yeah, it's like little things like this that allow you to get in. Well, there is one little mission though. Side mission. Yeah, I think this is the one. So yeah, we're gonna do a little side mission, and that should get me into the building, and then I will show you more of what I'm talking about.
His apartment is on the top floor. Should be an easy climb for a spider such as yourself.
I can get in through that fan. I need to shut it down.
Should be a control panel somewhere close.
Yeah, no, this isn't the building. But we're still in Triumvirate Drive, so.
Gets you wondering how many more of those Kruger set goons don't like what they're doing. On the other hand, I guess most people feel like they don't have much of a choice.
Alright. This fan doesn't respond to me. I have to do it the long way. Ah, that hurt.
Whoa, that's quite a jump. I'm on his balcony, but I can't get in from here.
Try the roof.
So we're breaking into the apartment of one of the Kruger Sec security guys. And this is where a lot of them live too, because, you know, security people can't make good money, of course. But as you can see, it's not a bad apartment. Far from it. It's definitely a luxury apartment. Like if you can afford a place at all in this city, it's gonna be nice. Like this apartment would easily be like one of the biggest luxurious apartments. Like New York City or something like that. And that's a view. You just gotta stop and take it all in, you know? And there's the Elysian building, and that's where you do your first job. getting out of prison.
Found a way in.
I knew you would.
As you can see, pretty nice apartment. Plenty spacious. So this looks like where you come in, and you have the outdoor balcony where you kind of just enjoy the open air. Then here, you got your computer. They're all on one PC.
All right, I got them. Time to.
When I'll show up and... I told him the deal was off. You're forcing me to call for backup.
The guy just showed up.
Yeah, so as you can see, our contacts are very much involved in everyone's pocket. So like when I said the government's corrupt, like this is what I mean. Like everyone's involved. So getting out of here is our next step. But as you can see, this is literally just a giant sofa right here on the second floor with the big screen TV right here and then the skylight. So this has a, you know, this is a penthouse. This is a penthouse apartment. Very, very luxurious. So he's probably not like the rank and file security expert, or could be. You know, maybe they compensate their guys really well. You know, that's also the possibility. But yeah, let's get the heck out of here.
I'm out. Got the goods.
I knew you could do it. Come by later and we'll have a look at what you got. Guess he called his friends. Better stay out of sight for a while, Fate.
Alright. So, let's see. Pull back out to the map. Kind of started over here. This is the old Kruger building. No, that's the old Kruger. Says it. Oh, Kruger Arms. So that is the Weapons Development Center. I think I chose the wrong mission. Yeah, I meant to do this one. That's what's going on.
I'm there.
Good. See if you can find a way inside.
So that's why I tried to activate the elevator, because this mission was blending in my brain. But yeah, we're gonna go inside the Kruger building now. Yeah, you see that pop in? That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so we're inside. As you can see, Kruger's color is like dark blue. And here's a server room. Even the servers look cool. Everything about this game is so well done. Really love
Check
the
engineering
minimalist art
first.
style.
They should have something there.
As you can see, minimalist architecture has like a lot of wide open spaces. I don't want Render's Vision. Render's Vision will tell you where to go. I kind of just want to look around. But yeah, this they really just went with that theme of glass, and that's why this city is called the City of Glass. Glass City here in Cascadia. And this isn't even a capital. Like, you would think it's a capital city, but it's not. It's just like a major city. The capital city is called Cascadia Prime, and that's a place that we never have seen ever in the Mirror's Edge universe. We've only ever seen Glass. So there's our target right there. And this is where they do all of their research and development.
Found
And
a note.
everything's
It
incredibly
says the
clean.
chip has been installed on a drone in the demo room.
That's a few floors up. Find an elevator.
And these are the prototype surveillance drones that are working on.
That's Base Spotter. Get ready. Fire ready. Fits the AV control. Copy that.
Alright, so we go up a couple of floors. Little piece of art here, and now we're at observation number 2. And as you can see, it's a very fancy room where you could be bringing in all kinds of customers. Then it's the outside world there. Mountain shelf. But you really can't see from any other part of the city. Like, this is the only place that you can actually see into the other parts of the city. Or the only building.
I see it.
So this is just them showing off their work. Sentry drone, the next step in Cascadia law enforcement today. The Sentry drone is a portable, effective, and reliable drone designed for quick deployment and low maintenance, controlled via a central control unit that can handle up to 10 drones each. The laser guidance system scans the area and picks up any threats for quick elimination. With a continuous fire rate of 1,000 rounds per minute, it can eliminate any threat within seconds. The Sentry drone is already a big success, and deployment within Glass has been. So these must be how they look, and this is must central control unit. Don't know why they went with an exposed circuit board. It seems kind of risky, but maybe these things get super hot. So, but yeah, you'll see these advertisements all over the city. And this is just Kruger Sec advertising itself. So we've seen Kruger Arms, and you have Kruger Security. Basically, the Kruger family owns the private military corporations of Glass. But I guess calling it a private military corporation is kind of a misnomer because everything's private. Like, everything in this country is privatized. There are no public services, really. Like, everything's owned by a corporation. Everything's privatized.
It's getting away.
Go after it. We need that chip.
As you can see, that's more of the city out there, which is what we saw earlier.
Don't let it get away.
Alright, I gotta go.
got the tip. I'll give it to you later.
No rush. Just the fact that Kruger Arms lost it should cause them a lot of trouble. You're the best, Faith.
Aw, don't gush.
So yeah, as you can see here, this is like a walking space. You'll never like actually be on the ground level to actually appreciate it, but you'll find places like that all over the city. Because the City of Glass, the way that it's designed, it has its main roads, as we saw earlier, but it also has like tons of places to walk, and the buildings are really close together. So Pirandello. Pirandello is another mega corporation in the country, and they're all about fashion. They're all about perfume. They're like the Prada, you know. They're like the Prada or the Versace of glass. So if you want to look your best, smell your best, then Pirandello is the way to go. And actually, Icarus, the guy that we met earlier, he wears Pirandello. Like his actual runner outfit is Pirandello, so you know. But yeah, that's more the downtown core right there, which again I would love to explore, but no luck. There's the highway right there, and just more little nooks and crannies. And that's where we came from. Alright, well let's see, how far are we from the safe house? Because I can actually end the tour there, because I think we spent enough time down here. Charter Hill is going to be pretty quick though. Charter Hill is a small place. So as you can see, there's the walk space down there between the office buildings. And then immediately takes you out onto the highway. So yeah, the city's very vertical. And got some employees going to and fro between the buildings here, and you will see people like walking out in the distance, but you don't really see them interacting, and I think that's another missed opportunity that this game missed out on. But CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077 is going to scratch that itch. But the characters, you know, they all felt pretty flat. I want to see if I can hit this. Nah. Alright, so this is the hideout. And this guy here is Nomad. And the mission that I just did, Nomad actually gives you the mission. And this lovely lady here is another runner.
Brought down the Shard and Gabriel Kruger. Good to see you, Faith.
So the thing with Nomad is he's a orphan. He didn't know his parents, and he kind of was raised by the Cabal. So he's grown up with the Cabal, and he's insanely good with computers. But he's not the main computer guy. We actually had to contract that out, which you will see later in the story. But yeah, there's hideouts like strewn about all over the city. And they look similar to each other, but they're not, you know, completely different. And whenever you get heat, you just run into a hideout and you instantly lose heat. But yeah, let's see what we got. Yeah. So, Charter Hill, then Centurion Yards, Encore Plaza. Encore Plaza is super small, so I might just hit both of those too. That whole area. Charter Hill, little baby. Like this is Charter Hill right here. Um, but yeah. I guess we can go ahead and wrap up episode 1 and then start it with episode 2. Take a look here at something. Wow, no, that that actually took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. Wow, almost an hour, But yeah, let's get gear up for the next one. I don't know if the others will be as long. But yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Thank you. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you're a fan of the franchise, tell me your stories. Tell me what you loved about the game. Tell me what you hated about the game. I hope EA makes another one, but you know, someone else can also make a similar type of game. But you know how the IRL corporations are. If a game's not turning $1 billion, they don't want to invest in it. So you gotta leave it to indie developers to do that. But this is 8-Bit Amethyst signing off, and have a good one.